Pels in the blender. Pels in the blender. From the dome to the court, we come alive. Red in the seats, feel that surge inside. When the crowd get loud, they shift the room. One run, one stop, and the whole thing bloom. Keep it clean, keep it true. Home floor shine when we come through. Every bucket count, every stop we chase. New Orleans pride, all up in your face. Bells in the blender. Turn it up, win on this.
Oh, that bit that groovy, son. Whoa, what it do? Man, first off, hold on, wait. Hold on, DJ. Welcome back, you heard me? My dog Mike, anytime Mike on the show, he hit him with the Thanos stand. So first off, welcome back, my dog. Dribble like Mike. Mike B in the building was good.
What's down with it?
Hey, and then premiering on the show, you heard me? My dog from another, my godson, fellow committee member, you heard me? My dog DJ in the building. What it do, my brother?
What's good, bro? Fresh out the group chat. Look.
You heard me? Fresh out the group, you heard me? Oh, look at the notifications working. Appreciate you, Q. What's good, everybody? Whoa, what's good, Lonnie? What's good, everybody?
Yeah,
make sure y'all hit that like button, please, if y'all don't mind, as y'all decide to, enter the show and enter the chat and everything. Appreciate everybody. This is a episode that we've been waiting to do for a while. Like me and Mike, you've been potting with me for a little minute now. Always support. And then this is our group chat, pretty much. So so we'll get an idea of like how a lot of my ideas like come to fruition, right? Because anything that I pretty much get ready to do on the show, I done already argued 2 or 3 times with DJ or with Mike. And then again, bro, like I got some of the best basketball knowledge people that like from playing college, watch the game, you know what I mean? Like really studying the game and shit like that. And we be more so on like every element of the game. So when people be wanting to talk about, there's a lot of shows and stuff like that, but like the way we try to think about it, one be from like a personal level and also from like not just the business of basketball aspect of it, but just kind of like strategically, how are you going to go about doing the things that you have? And like those are the kind of things that we have in our group chats and shit. So we just wanted to make sure that we finally got the whole group together. Shout out to DJ for finally making the appearance, you dig? And then we'll be able to kind of start with that. So
real quick,
first thing I want to do. Go ahead.
I want to say this real quick. Hey, we go back to 2002.
Yeah,
that's true.
In the Car State Championship basketball team 07. But yeah, 2002, man. This is going on.
Me and DJ go back before that, huh? No, we grew up on the same block.
Yeah. Went to the same elementary.
Yeah, like back then.
I met them when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, it was like 3rd grade with Sky.
Yeah, that boy said Sky. Most of y'all know Alvin. You heard me exactly. But shout out to you, my cousin in the building, man.
Look, I gotta get back used to it.
Yeah,
the Davis.
Absolutely. So it's just, you know what I mean? It's just this true family, right? And it's just us shooting the shit, and we just so happen to be on a podcast like everybody else. So let's do a little around the league type shit, right? They've already had some news hit today. And DJ, since it's your first time for sure, we'll start with you. What do you think regarding just like, again, you saw Clay go to Miami, you've seen what's his name, man? Peyton Watson go to Cleveland. You dig? Y'all boys old as fuck. I just graduated on 5. No, that's how, bro. When you old, you keep the people around that's been around. Your circle get trimmed down when you get to where we at. You hear me? I'm pretty sure you know about that, especially if you're from that city. Everybody don't survive. But DJ, with all of the moves that's been made and whatnot, what's your overall view on the league? First off, that's like, what's your take on this particular season and how stuff's shaking out?
Yeah, I'm actually excited. You know, it's a lot of moving parts. We be expecting that during the off season every year, and it don't be like this.
Facts.
So we done had some real big moves, but I think the more recent ones been the ones that's like the minute stuff that gonna
Mm-hmm.
make a big difference on teams. Like Peyton Watson going, he not gonna be the star, but he can be one of them. Like we didn't talk, like I said in a group chat, like a Jaden McDaniels type, like
Yep.
where the star don't want him to go nowhere. Like
Yes.
he one of those glue guys that need to be around. So Clay going to Miami is big because they absolutely need the shooting. They got all the
Mm-hmm.
athleticism, defense, everything. But so it's a lot of the basically the fine print stuff that's happening right now that
Mm-hmm.
make you excited for the season for real.
Yeah, kind of rounding out the roster. Mike, let me ask you about this same question, but to Clay, though, Clay left and went to Dallas because he thought he was about to have Luka and Kyrie and like that team that went to a champ, and then they kind of fucked him over. You know what I mean?
Luka was traded the same year.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
Nico.
we seen Clay like a diminished Clay, but again, he's getting older. No, he's not the same Clay. But at the same time, in Miami, are we looking to see Clay get back to more so at least some form of what he was or anything like that? Or like, what's your thought on like Clay, Miami, and then just overall league thoughts? What you know what I mean? What you want to think before we jump into this Pels talk?
Clay is about to go play with what the most dominant paint player in the NBA. Would you say like obviously Zion up there, but like this is what Giannis do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this is like I'm about to average 30 and 11.
Yeah.
Majority paint. It's just like
and then you still got Bam, paint beast.
Yeah, you still got Bam. You got you got Wiggins, so you got a defender.
Mm-hmm.
Like their starting five is gonna be. I don't know who their point guard gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be Davion Mitchell. And I think he's a solid starting point guard. Like, bro, you don't even have to do much. Can you be Mario Chalmers? Just hit the shot when you can, play defense, and go. But
and then they still got what's your boy? They got Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench.
They signed Tim Hardaway. They got Jovic gonna have to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bro, it's gonna be interesting. But in terms of like overall league, I was thinking, all right, bro, when's the last time we said like the East is better than the West?
Top heavy, like the top teams, maybe you'd be like a team like Boston the year ago can compete. Yeah, but you wouldn't say like overall. Top to bottom. Yeah, no, I think it's clear head and shoulders the East better.
Like when's the last time? Like, because even when LeBron was still in the East with Cleveland, like in Miami and stuff, it was like his teams were always the best. But then you just had like a bunch of good West teams. But now, like you could like you got OKC, you got the Spurs, but then after that, like I feel like there's like a drop off compared to like, man, you got what Miami, Cleveland, Philly. Like.
Washington,
Detroit,
Washington and Boston, them still, gonna round out the bottom.
Yeah, like
Orlando.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Knicks, like people probably won't even have the Knicks as the favorite.
Nah,
so let's
Toronto.
Say Toronto. Let's say they're like let's say the Knicks moved to 4. Like,
yeah,
I'm putting the Knicks over the Lakers. I'm putting them over the Nuggets. I'm putting them over. The Jazz, you know what I mean? So
as last seen, they was the best team in the league, obviously.
Exactly.
So no, and everybody, before we start transitioning into these Pelicans, I know a year like going into last season, everybody was talking about moving and alignment and expansion, and like, man, put the Pelicans in the East. We won't go in the East, boy. Listen, another thought is all of the good every good player that you thought was going to be an issue is moving to like Peyton Watson is one of those quality role players. in the East. Clay, regardless of what you feel about Clay, that's just another talented player outside of the West. You know what I mean? Going to the East. Damn near anybody you could think of. Like, I'm hoping that, maybe Kyrie get traded somewhere to the East.
You mentioned Clay and you mentioned Peyton Watson, brother. LeBron is in
the
East.
He's a role player. He's on a minimum deal. Last year.
Kawhi back in the East.
That one is crazy.
Yeah, and the thing about like all of that movement is kind of like, say what you want about a player like James Harden, bro. Regular season, James, he'll still get a team to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, he'll still get you. Kawhi good enough on his own, you'll be battling for the playoffs. You take those dudes out and move them to the East, bro, so part of that works into my thinking of, we really got a shot at like 6-7 seed, something like that, if they do what they supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Any thoughts on that before we start jumping in? I just want to discuss how we even got to the conversation we're about to go through to have to discuss minutes and adjusting and all of that at all. Any final thoughts before we get off the league thought and all of that?
I ain't got much to say. I'm ready to
get into these Pels, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm just ready for the season.
Absolutely. Mike, do you want to give your Ivory? I see keep hitting up about your win total. Do you have a win total yet for the season, or you need some more? Or you need more time?
Right now, if everything goes well, I could see, like, I'm nowhere near that 50 that we was crazy for. I'm like 42 if everything 42 goes well. Yeah, I think that's like my ceiling.
Well, you one game over 500, so it's better than you did last year. That's a
jump from 26 to 41.
15 game improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Take that. DJ, what your win total is right now? You got a win total yet, or you ain't really thought about it?
I haven't really thought about it, but I'm like the optimistic one, so I'm expecting everybody to be great. So for me, it's definitely the 42 would have been like my bottom. Like I feel like that's where, like, if we play how I expect us to play, I think 42 is like, that's a good parameter. Like, we should be there. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But I don't really have an actual total.
Yeah. I think once the roster is officially finalized, I think we'll really have a better idea, because add Mathurin, whatever you lose, if you added an MPJ, whatever you had to give, all of that affects how you view the team. But in the grand scheme of things, I think we all kind of view them similar to around this number, around where they at, somewhere in the 40s, if everybody healthy from day one. You know what I mean? Not no 50-win team, but you never know, bro. You will see what like good coaching and having chemistry from day one look like. Everybody good? Whoa, what's good, Target? Yeah, appreciate you on this Good Friday. You heard me, this Good Friday afternoon. Let's kind of jump into the conversation of the day. So basically, bro, what ended up happening was we was in a group chat running it, talking about potential adjustments that could be made and ways to like utilize this roster. And I hate to bring it back to Willie Green, but we're going to kind of start there. One of the people don't understand, I think, the advantage of having Jamahl Mosley in comparison to Willie Green, right? And like face value, it seems obvious. Like, okay, yeah, he's a better strategist. He might be better with rotations. He's, stuff like that. Bro, we were talking about just the utilization of the roster, right? Utilization of the roster, and how we didn't, or at least I didn't think that even the teams that were somewhat good weren't fully maximized. So let's start there. Let's go back to the 49 win season, right? In the 49 win season, Willie Green, if you remember, that's the first year you had Zion, B.I., CJ. Pretty much everybody was healthy. I think Trey was healthy also that year to start the season. And you end up having your best season that you had. Now, the issue was, the starting lineup, if people remember, the starting lineup wasn't really playing well to start games, but the bench would come in, and then the bench was just out just outplaying motherfuckers throughout most of the games, right? And then if you remember in second halves, like towards maybe midway to the rest of the season, they started benching JV for like whole second halves, right? So the question I'll pass to Mike, and then we'll go to Darnell. We'll just kind of start the conversation, have it pick up. Though, how can we like experience those moments and not be like have, I guess, maybe an optimistic view of what the roster could be if potentially utilized correctly? So, like, if you go back and think about those times, what were like some adjustments that you feel the Willie Green could have made to maybe maximize that roster? That because I thought that roster could have been a 50 plus win roster, right? They had some obvious flaws. So, Mike, what's some of the things that you thought they could have did to kind of like better use that team?
Bro, if you remember, they won 49 games. They were 0-24 when losing or tied going into the fourth.
That's
0-24. If they won 5 games,
yeah,
you're what the fourth seed, the fifth seed that year.
Yeah.
You got 54 wins, and everybody's like the Pelicans. Like, bro, you could have got to 60 wins that year, bro. Like,
yes.
0-24. I mean, that tells you enough. Like, and everyone's like, yeah, they didn't have a point guard. That's true. And BI and Zion didn't play up to par. That's true. But like, that's a huge red flag for coaching. Because there was many times where like, that was the year we got swept by? Yeah, that was the year we got swept.
Yes, Zion got hurt. They got swept by OKC.
Even the fast forward to the playoffs when we played OKC.
2 of them games was close.
Yeah, Chet couldn't do nothing with JV the first half of one of the games.
Yep.
And JV didn't play the second half. And it's just like, bro, he never leaned into like, that was my biggest flaw with like Willie is like, they never leaned into like the mismatch. Like, bro, like like the Pelicans like one of the only teams I know that never spam pick and rolls. And maybe we don't have the person to do it at the time. But at the same time, like it's the barely used timeouts.
Yeah, you know I forgot all about the timeout usage.
Like he was just whole timeouts. Like when Zion or BI, whoever got beat up, like you're not getting the tech for him. Like you just sitting there with your arms folded, looking confused. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many things. And don't even get in the fact is like the offense. Like that was the same year Zion made that I'm trying to buy in because like the offense was just like
when they had with Borrego, that was Borrego first year. They had an idea for the offense they wanted to run, and BI scrapped it early in the season. He wasn't having it.
Exactly. And then that offense went into I was real quick. I would never slander CJ. I don't care where everybody hates CJ. He will never get slandered from me. Like
I don't have no fault against CJ, but he was bad in that playoff series.
He was, but Zion didn't play, and he never plays. But like for me, it's just one of those like, though, like Zion is a perimeter player. For half the season for the 49 win, they kept putting this man in the dunker spot like he Shaq. That's not him. So just overall, bro, it's just like the coaching was bad.
100%. DJ, let me ask you, bro, because one of the things that I think we are big on is like strategic adjustments, right? Like if you see something as an issue, for example, like point guard play, or how can we, you know, because the starting unit had issues starting out scoring and stuff like that. Why don't you think he just was willing to, you know what, just for some of these games, let me start Trey and sit her, or fuck it, if I'm not playing JV with the starting unit. Whoa, shout out you, Mike Morgan. You heard me with the 2-piece. Appreciate you, dog. 100%. Hold on, man. Mike Morgan with the bro. But like why not just start JV? I mean, start Larry Nance and then like use JV as second units. Get creative with how you using the roster as opposed to, you know, just he was so headstrong what he was doing. So, like, what are some of the adjustments that you think Willie Green could have made? And then we'll transition into Mosley and how, with all of these players that he has, how we could see him utilizing his roster.
Definitely. So y'all know I was big on JV. Like I was mad when they started transitioning to showing us that they didn't want to keep him going forward. And then going past that, everything been we needed a big man. I didn't understand it
Mhm.
then. So now we in a position where they talking about we need a big man and we had one. So for Willie, I just feel like he was just it wasn't no end game. It was whatever we came with on paper, that's what we going with. If we said this
Yes.
the rotation for this game, that's the rotation. Even if Jose got it going today, he about to sit down and we about to put somebody else in his place. Like it
Mhm.
didn't matter who was playing well. It didn't matter what adjustments could be made. That's what he was gonna do. Whatever he had on that paper when they did their first scouting and everything, that's what he going with. So there was nothing really past that for Willie. So that was the disappointing thing for me because I look at the best coaches, that's what they do. If Andre Iguodala got to go to the bench so Draymond Green could start. Like it's to make the team better.
Mhm.
And I think a bigger thing with him was he wasn't as a leader, you got to be able to tell people what's real. Like, and you can't just be friends with everybody. You can't just be the nice guy. I know you're a Christian, but you can't just be the nice guy to everybody. Like, it don't work like that. You got to be able to tell people what's real. So if it's, look, man, you not hitting your shots, we need somebody in there that's going to hit them. Herb, you got to go to the bench right now. You got to earn that spot back. Now, I'm not saying it's gone for good, but like you got to earn that spot back. So it's just things like that that made it difficult to root for Willie because it's like you see people going downhill and you not stopping nothing. Like you not saying nothing to nobody. We watching runs go on against us and you just looking at the players. Like you not calling no
Yeah.
timeout. We ain't seeing you going off on nobody. Like like that. And that's where we come from. That like as a basketball player, you need that sometimes somebody to put their foot in you. So it's like is that for me with Willie that made it unfortunate. So that's why when we talk is a lot of pressure on Mosley for me because you taking this exact same roster pretty much and expecting bigger and better. So yeah, definitely the adjustment was a big thing for Willie.
I 100% agree. And I know a lot of people if you hey bro, sometimes it is what it is. Like the adjustments were obvious. I completely forgot about this because and Mike, appreciate you for bringing this up again in the group chat because we were talking about you can just sit it over there. Thank you. We were in the group chat talking about, man, the reason that Jordan Poole may work is because I'm sorry. We ideally thought about CJ going to the bench, right? And it's like, bro, if you could have that kind of dynamic scoring and shooting with that second unit, you know what I mean? Like, then you could probably fix some of your issues, or maybe if Herb go to the bench and then you have that all offensive unit with CJ BI like it's so many things that we never saw. Go back to when we talked about Devontae Graham, right? You knew damn well he wasn't about to bench CJ McCollum or Herb Jones. Mike, do you want to remind the people the conversation that had to take place just to bench Devontae Graham?
That man drove to Devontae Graham's house to tell him, I'm benching you. I can't even remember who he put in the starting lineup. Like that's what because I know like who was it? I can't even remember.
I don't even know if that was CJ time. Yeah.
Because I know CJ got there and then he immediately started, but it was like CJ, Devontae, BI,
yeah,
JV, and Herb.
Yeah.
It was like, dog, like what like
somebody gotta go sit down.
Yeah, you done promised everybody a spot.
Exactly. So yeah, but like he never adjusted. It was like, this is my lineup and I'm sticking with it. And it's just like, bro, like you done lost 8 straight.
I think it was Jax at the 4 that year.
It was
because that's when they made the first play and run on the the 36 wins.
Yeah, and
Jax was starting.
It's like, bro, like if it's that difficult for you to tell Devontae Graham you got to go to the bench, then you're never gonna have this conversation with these other dudes that's been starting all year.
Which is why I thought it was BS, because to me, another issue that Willie had was, and I'm hoping, because you have to have relationships with your players, right? But he coached also a lot from, if I like you, if I like favoritism, right? To me, Herb Jones been glued to the starting spot from him and Borrego strictly on favoritism. And my thought is, it's not even if Herb is good or Herb affects winning, nothing like that. My thing is, when a team is struggling overall, we got to try everything we can to fix this, right? And even though Herb, listen, again, shout out to you, Ryan. Mosley need to have that combo with Herb. I give Herb benefit of the doubt starting off the season, right? But if he's struggling, or if anybody is struggling, when Zion came back from injury, Zion went to the bench, right? Like you saw Jordan Poole by game 4, who, when they traded for Jordan Poole, there was no plan for Jeremiah Fish to start that early in the season. You spent all training camp and all season preparing to play a certain kind of way. And then 4 games into the season, you decide to punt for the rookie. But again, to the point that y'all made too, Derek Queen, you were saying we ain't got no minutes at the 5. Like, what are we talking about? So just all of those things, I think people forget when we just talk, because like not at the season over, right? And DJ, I like passed you with that one. Not at the season over, people just be like, man, these dudes won 27 games, they bums. Like, people forget the context of everything that happens throughout a season, right? So moving forward, and now let's transition to Mosley. What's your biggest, what do you think is the biggest takeaway or the biggest benefit you think Mosley's gonna provide? And then Mike, you after him.
So for me, he done popped out.
No, look, I'm good. I gotta just in case, I gotta go set up a secondary option just in case the computer flash out.
I got you.
So,
But nah, I'm
protecting the show from technical difficulties.
I got you, brother. But nah, for me, it's just being a leader of men for real. I'm expecting a lot from him just because I feel like our team is talented. I think we got a lot of different pieces on the team that can be successful. But the issue is, I feel like most teams are top heavy, so they have real stars that's like leading the league, and then everything under them is a fall off effect. I feel like for us, we gonna have to be a conglomerate of people. So it's like, yeah, Zion is at the top, but then Trey, and then we have a bunch of players that can be 20-point scorers on any given night. They can get double-digit assists on any given night. Like, we have a bunch of players that can do many different things. Look, we done had Sadiq go for 40, like several different things. So we got to be able to utilize all of them. And my favorite coaches are coaches like Pop that can go to somebody and be like, hey, today's game is not your game. Like, we needed you last game, this ain't the game for you. So your minutes might be less this game because this person has the advantage. So that's the type of conversations I'm looking for from Mosley, to be able to go to the players. And we discussed it before, like speaking of hierarchy, like letting people know, look, Zion is Zion. He's our number one option. We not If he not shooting the ball, everybody should be fussing saying you need more shots today. Like, not just going get yours. Like, and if Trey number 2, look, we need to get Trey some shots. He ain't got one in a while. Like, those are the things that need to be plain and simple for everybody to know that these are our players. And then it trickle down from here. Everybody gonna get their touches. Everybody gonna get their minutes. But look, when it's time, when it's your time, you just take advantage of your time. So I'm looking for him to really hone in on everybody's roles, what we need from them, and holding them accountable to it. And I also want in training camp for it to be, look, best players come in, If you beat this man for this spot, you got your spot. Like I understand Zion, Trey, like certain people gonna be good regardless. But these other spots, Herb, your spot up for grabs if you let Bryce come in and kill you in training camp. Like it's up for grabs if Fear's coming in and could actually look like he played well next to Murray. Like, look, we might have to do something with this. Like it's just I want it to be open because I think our team talented, but I don't think nobody should be in a position to feel comfortable, especially after the season we just had. So that's what I'm looking for him, just to be a leader and let everybody know what it is, what it ain't, and what we expecting out of it. Hopefully that gets everybody on the same page to where it's not just hitting agendas and people doing things for themselves. We are the Pels and we handling business this season.
Mike, I know. So like, realistically, like we know we want that to be the case, right? But salary gotta play up. I think salary plays a part in all of this, right? Like her make 14 million this year, gonna be making 20 million in the future. Poole make 34 million. Fears is a top drafted guy. Queen is a top drafted guy you gave up some capital for. How do you think Mosley deals with that? Because we saw last year, right, the way the shit went down with Poole and all of the DNPs, and it's like, bro, that's a 30 at the time, $32 million player that you just DNPing like that. Like, and you're not winning doing those like DNPing people like that. So, like, do you think there's a true open opportunity, or like how do you think it works with Mosley starting off because of the salary situation, and then like how do you think it'll fall out?
I mean, ideally, I think like them dudes get paid the high salary because they're your best players. Like at the end of the day, like Jordan Poole had a down bad year, and like obviously coaching mixed with that. But at the same time, dog, he's probably like your second best scorer on the team. Like as good as Trey is, I don't think Trey is as crafty as Poole is. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's what Trey's just 6'10" and athletic as hell, so he got that advantage over Poole, who's undersized. But like Jordan Poole is probably your second best scorer on the team. So like like he got to play. Like I think he has to play. Same with like what Herb like has been down these past 2 years, and like I said before, like right, he's been hurt the last 2 years. So like his summer is rehab. We ain't seen Herb playing basketball and like during the summer in two seasons. I remember there's a picture of Herb. The last year he was healthy going into the off season. He was shooting in a basketball gym, like, and it was like the rooftop or something like that outside. Like it was like that was 2 years ago. You ain't seen that since. Now you're getting footage of her. Now you're getting footage of her hooping with Bryce.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because like he's healthy. Like I'm not rehabbing for 3 months. Same with DeJounte. I'm not rehabbing my Achilles for an entire summer. Like, I'm hooping. Yeah, on my finger, my Achilles
broke the hand, like the whole
everything. He's like, bro, I'm 100 going into the off season. Like you're gonna get like, you know, you may go into the season with a little nag or something like that, but like I'm going into the season at best like 95% of myself. Same with Poole. He said he had an injury during the, you know what I mean, during the summer. So like if all that like plays a part, then I'm expecting like your higher salary dudes to be your best players. Like, look, whether Jordan Poole here or not, like I think he has a skill that you need. Like we don't shoot a lot of threes. Zion, no matter how many times we want Zion to shoot threes, he might get up 3 this year a game, and I'll take that. Herb probably shots should come down some with DeJounte back. You know what I mean? Herb should be right back at that, like 5, maybe 6 shots a game. Corner 3 should be half. You know what I mean? So the volume 3s is gonna be Trey, Poole, DeJounte got to get like 7 or 8 up by himself. Fears, like they got to be your shooters, and we know one thing: Poole is gonna shoot the ball. You know what I mean? So like even with the salary and stuff like that, politics play a game in it, but ideally they are still your top players. So you need them to contribute and play.
I think they definitely, not to cut you off, brother.
No, you good. You good.
I think they definitely, when you in that contract year, these players get different. So like Poole may not be playing for the contract with us, but he like, man, I need another bag coming next year. So
I
he gonna
always
come out
emphasize them
and
trying to like Poole trying to stay in the league.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
DeJounte playing for another big contract. Poole is trying to stay in the NBA.
yeah, Cam Thomas might be dog. There may not be an NBA future for Cam Thomas. Cam Whitmore, like Poole really a bad year for you, and it could be over. Like being honest. A lot of things. So we talk about, and we'll start transitioning into the roster and usage and stuff like that. Obviously the big apparent weaknesses, right, have been the shooting and the rebounding. My belief is I think Mosley fixes defense, rebounding. I don't want to say fixes. I think he naturally adjusted because of the scheme, right? It'll get better just because of the scheme. We had a full switch. They switch everything. And then you could watch games anytime. And like, if a team ran like a secondary switch, motherfucker be confused. You got rookies who first time playing, a bunch of minutes trying to figure out who's who, never fought through an NBA screen before, on top of not just having great defenders and them not prioritizing that. And then, in my opinion, they prioritize playing fast and getting out in transition. So as far as like rebounding, it wasn't a priority to like crash the boards. The priority was it's whoever get the rebound, get out and go. I think Mosley adjusts that as well. You'll see more gang rebounding, more stick with your man, which is easier to box out or easier to, kind of get contact with somebody. So I think Mosley helps with that part. I think as far as the shooting goes, also, I think they play more of the people that shoot the ball, right? Like, again, Poole is like an 8-point, like he averaged the year before, I think he averaged coming from Washington like 8 threes a game. You know what I mean? If he shoots 8, if Trey shoots 10, DeJounte shoots 6, Sadiq Bey shot 6. Like, I think you could get closer to the average of like 43s a game. If again, we'll see who plays, but like the people that are playing majority of the minutes, and then the offensive scheme. If you remember, also Willie Green and Borrego's scheme, in my opinion, was heavy ISO shit, right? Like and there was no hierarchy in the best players getting majority of the shots to collapse defenses. Like there was no like rhyme or reason, not to mention the offense was different every game. So I just think Mosley creates a structure that allows the team to perform better. And like, you can, like, some of these dudes on the team are like decent shooters, at least decent to good shooters, right? If you can just put them in more consistent situations, I think it naturally helps the shooting. So like, what's y'all takeaway just from like that in general about like Mosley's impact helping the players that you do have and like maybe maximizing them going into the season?
I say, no, I agree with that. Like, I just take back to this, bro. Like, real quick, Willie, and I know we talking about Mosley, but like, Willie got the Pels job. He coached for 4 years, maybe. I think he did 2 in Golden State and 2 in Phoenix, or maybe 5 years.
Not as an OC, not as a DC,
just an assistant.
Yeah.
And got the Pelicans job. Mosley had been coaching since 2007. He started with the Nuggets in 2007. Like, this man got like 20 years of coaching.
Bro, that's a great point.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, he got that dog, and he coached under Carlisle.
Yeah,
like he was under
Great
Carlisle.
coach.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So
and
like,
J Kidd, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Carlisle and J Kidd. Like, so,
and not to cut you off, but they never did Willie the service of having a great staff around him. Like when Steve Kerr got that job in Golden State, the fucking staff next to him was incredible, right? Mm-hmm. Like most coaches, you see that it's like, yo, we really want to invest in this guy. You see the coaching staff next to them is pretty legit. At least Mosley, they didn't put like, again, he's a veteran guy, but they at least gave him all of the people that he was comfortable with, Sham God and then everybody else on that staff.
Yeah, like
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you got like JJ Redick's another prime example of that. Like JJ Redick coaching staff is elite. like he got all head coaches for him over there. You know what I mean? Like Willie, and this just show you like the Pels were cheap. Like so, which I said like Willie was the 9th option. He was. He was the lowest paid coach in the NBA. They didn't even announce Willie Green's extension. Like they were just like, oh yeah, Willie Green got an extension. They didn't say how much it was. They didn't say how long it was for. They just like here, like he gonna
shut
like,
up.
Yeah, and it's just like he was making like $1 million a year. I'm like, dog, like two-way players probably, you know what I mean? Like, so structure wise, like one thing you know about Mosley, though, y'all gonna defend. I know y'all all elite scorers, that's what y'all do, but guess what? Y'all gonna defend. And if y'all don't defend, you're not gonna play. And you know what I mean? And then for all the dudes like not named Zion and Trey, like, yeah, they're gonna have to defend. But they're not going to have, obviously, y'all going to be like the main offensive people. Y'all not going to have to defend like the rest of these dudes do. But if you ain't defending, you ain't playing. And we got, and one thing I will say this year, and like, you know, I know we're going to talk about it soon, but like, I always say like Pelicans got too many of the same players in a Mosley type system that could be beneficial because like, hey, like, if you ain't going to defend, and you worried about like, well, shoot, if you sit me, you ain't gonna get no offense. That's a lie. Because guess what? The Pelicans got like 6 dudes that could average 20, that could score like 20 any given night, maybe 7. You got Zion, you got Trey, you got Sadiq, you got Poole, you got DeJounte. That's 5 people right there. Fears could give you
Fears is coming.
You know what I mean? Like Fears is like Fears is about to make that step. And then you add Trenton Wofford, you add all these other players, and it's like, hey, bro, like. You ain't gonna defend? Cool. Well, look, I'm gonna throw Fears in there real quick. I know he gonna defend and get some steals and get up the court and score. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, so like they got like 6 dudes. So we're gonna see, bro. It's gonna be like, but he definitely gonna bring that structure and the make them like defend. And he ain't no BS dude. You saw this person when everybody was scared to ask for him. He was like, hey, before y'all ask anything, like we playing defense, and that's what I'm coaching about.
I agree. DJ, so we talking about like all of the you good? You can hear me? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I don't know. Micah and Bryce might take someone's job because of the defense.
Hold up, my sound just went up.
We can hear you now.
You can hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear.
Yeah, I can hear him too. I don't know if he can hear us.
Yeah, I don't know about Micah and Bryce taking somebody's spot. They don't have enough offense.
I think Bryce gonna have an opportunity to get some minutes because off ball, catch and shoot, do all of that. Well, man, appreciate my dog Cheddar Chaz absolutely in the building, bro. Make sure y'all hit the like button and trade the DeJounte. Listen, always stay consistent, bro. I appreciate you. DJ, you can hear?
He's froze.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to add him back. So what was I talking about?
Structure with Mosley and what we think.
The structure and like the question I was pretty much about to ask him was there you go. Hold on. Kick that one. Add that one. Whoa, you good?
Yeah, man, my sound. Somebody called me and my sound just went completely out.
Man, you gotta put that bitch on sleep mode, Jeremy. You gotta throw that thing on to sleep.
That D&D right quick.
I was getting ready to ask you, DJ, as far as like, because we've been having a conversation about a lot of the same kind of people having to potentially consolidate at some point from just like building the roster standpoint. But as of right now, this roster just kind of is what it is, right? So moving forward, it's a lot of like similarly built or skilled guys to a degree, right? Do you think that's beneficial or that becomes an issue?
I think ultimately it'll become an issue. But as of right now, I don't think so because, like I said, I don't think nobody's spot safe. Like anybody could be traded in the next, like within this season by next season, I think anybody could be gone. So like to
Mm-hmm.
have a bunch of players with these certain skill sets, and I think Joe said it when he came in, he wanted a bunch of players that could defend, create for others, score on their
Mm-hmm.
own. Like that's what he was looking for. So the roster is kind of built like that to where they want
Mm-hmm.
people that can be individual players, but they needed a coach, like you say, for structure to put it all together. So that's what we're looking for from Mosley, because at the end of the day,
But
we
that
don't
is,
want just have players that like Herb just there to play defense. Nah, we don't need you just to play defense. We need you to do some other
mm-hmm.
stuff on the other side too. And trade Zion. I know y'all the stars of the team, but we gonna need y'all to sit in that chair and play some defense this year. So it's like it's a beneficial thing. I think in the long run, we gonna have a lot of players that other teams or contenders will want at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day to like be that last final change up to their season or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
having a bunch of these players, we could give one or two up in a nice trade for ourselves for a future move or for a big time player that could assist us and it not hurt us as much as if we like just gave away a farm or something because we got a bunch of players that can step into that type of role. So it could be beneficial for us right now. I think ultimately when these contracts start coming up and the money start going up, then it'll be a problem. But for right now, this season, I think we in a good place with the competition level that we have in the building right now.
I agree. So I want to do who. So this is how I want to us go through the roster and who plays and who doesn't play and like how minutes will work out and stuff like that, right? So what I'm gonna do is I want to show and hopefully I might end up having to switch my computer at some point. So y'all bear with me. We're gonna see. Can y'all see that? Everybody can see that? You good?
Yep.
So everybody don't know. So this is Indiana's roster, right? The reason I chose Indiana is because there'll be our that's the first. I don't know if it's gonna it might work out to where we could do it, but I don't know if it's gonna lag or whatever the case might be. I might have to take it off. But so we already know the Indy opening day roster is probably gonna be Hallie, right? Zoo, Pascal, right? Who else starts for them? Who do y'all think starts for them? Is it
Nemhard,
Nimhard, Neesmith? Who y'all
yeah.
got for them?
The top five, except just swap Naismith with Toppin.
So you think the top Nimhard and Neesmith gonna be the other two?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, Neesmith, Nimhard. All right, and then off they bench, TJ McConnell gonna get burned. Obi probably gonna get burned.
Oubre.
Kelly Oubre gonna get burned.
Hmm.
Then you probably get
Who else? You think Larry Nasby?
no,
Who?
I think Larry Nance done. But I think you're gonna
Let's
see
go with a top 10.
you're gonna see Ben Shepherd, you're gonna see Jay Huff, and you're gonna see I don't know about Jerez. He still hasn't showed me nothing yet, but
He ain't played nothing in it. So let's just say Jay Huff as they
Jay Huff gonna
backup
play. He
big.
they backup center.
Yeah. So
Ben
let's
Shepherd,
leave it at that. Anything?
okay.
Yeah. So I got Hallie starting, Zoo, Pascal, Neesmith, Nimhard, TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin, Kelly Oubre, Ben Shepherd, and Jay Huff. That sound about right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So opening day, so this is how I want to do it. We'll go through Pelican start lineup and like based on who they have, right? How we're going to sub this game, right? Strategically, how you do it, how you sub this game, who come out, who go in, like how we matching this up. And I think we'll get an idea at this point, right? How they plan on playing moving forward. So as of right now, I got 9 players for sure for the Pelicans that's going to play if everybody healthy. DeJounte, Trey, Z, Herb, Eve, Fears, Poole, Sadiq Bey, Queen. As far as like Carlo, Bryce, whoever else on the roster, based off how the game might be going, we could decide. But throughout this experiment, I'm gonna throw out a couple scenarios and then we'll kind of see what happened from there. All right. So let's we got boom, tip off, 12 minutes on the clock. Start lineups out there, right? Boy, I should have put a fucking clock on here. I should have put a clock on here, dog. I can remove this now that we got the roster so everybody knows. But 12 minutes on the clock. Boom. Game is started. Right? Who is for the Pelicans in this particular match? First off, this particular matchup. At this point, I don't think Zion on the because we've seen throughout seasons, right? He have at 6 minutes, he was coming out exactly. Or we have to manage his minutes to keep him under 30. He can't play. I think all of that shit is out the window going into this season. So game one, I'm under the assumption that nobody on no minutes restrictions. We ain't doing none of that. Okay. So let's we all in agreement on that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I still think Z not playing more than 31, 32. Like I think he's going to be. I think 32 might be his cap, but I think you're going to see a lot of 29, 30 minutes a night.
Okay. I ain't mad at that, but we'll see based on it again. So the game starts, boom. Who is, let's say we 8 minutes in, right? Because your starters typically before your first sub, right? If there's no foul trouble, when do you think teams typically make their first subs? Around what minute? What, maybe the 6 minute mark, something like that?
6 to 7 minute range.
Yeah, I'll say
6 to 7. So let's book everybody in the starting lineup out the gate at 5 minutes, right? Because you ain't really making your
Who we say the starters?
I think starting the season is gonna be DeJounte, Trey, Zion, Eve, and Herb.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all.
I agree.
We all comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say we 5 minutes in, right? We 5 minutes in. Hallie coming off the Achilles, so they probably gonna sub out the point guard first, right? Give him a breather. TJ McConnell's probably coming into the game. Pascal might stay in the game. Maybe they sub out Zoo and bring in J Huff, right? What's your first subs to combat or match up with those adjustments?
You got it, DJ.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
So they lined up at that point. They lined up would probably be just TJ, Neesmith, Nimhard, Pascal, and J Huff.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I'm getting Queen in there. Because with Huff coming in, I feel like Queen could get active against that backup.
Who Queen come in for? So Queen first off your bench. Who he come in for?
He coming in for Eve. I feel like he's like he's an energy guy. So like Eve is usually gonna be my first person out just off of.
I need to preserve.
Like I say, yeah, and I need to see where he at right now. Like, he got to get active. He got to get acclimated. He got to get moving. And with that first unit, it's not always that for the big man because we getting Zion touches, we getting Trace touches and all that. You just kind of out there. But I think with that second unit, Queen could come in and start, passing the ball around, moving the ball around. I would want to say Fears, but my thing with Fears is going up against TJ, who was like the vet. But I probably I would probably bring in both of the young boys. And let them get active.
Is Fears and that sound about right? Fears and Queen being your first two subs. I'd imagine they probably I don't think they platooning them running fives, right?
Yeah.
So who you got coming out first for them two?
It's TJ and
Oh man,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm bringing Herb I'm taking even Herbo.
Okay.
I'm bringing. For me, I want to see Fears with Murray,
Mm-hmm.
especially a healthy Murray,
Mm-hmm.
because Fears get buckets, man. Like like Fears is aggressive and like I know
This.
he's still learning NBA point guard stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
next to Murray, I feel like he could get more active on the offensive side too.
I feel that. So some people Sadiq. So Major. Some people would say Sadiq might be the first person off the bench. That's realistic as well, but I guess it depends. Again, it depends on how the game goes, right? Like
And,
who's getting active, who's not. But I agree with Darnell's thought process as far as like Eve being the energy guy and you wanting to see what you have in Queen. And we talked about the matchup, right? Jay Huff, you don't want to be too small also because now you got Jay Huff and Pascal. You know what I mean? I think Sadiq makes you a little bit too small in that lineup, especially if you play Fizz. So, Mike, right now we at the 7-minute mark. We made 2 subs still in the first quarter. We got our lineup right now is DeJounte, Fizz, Trey Z, Queen. How you feel moving forward? Like, how do you feel the rest of the quarter with that lineup?
Say the lineup again. DeJounte,
Fizz, Trey Z, and Queen. This is probably the lineup that the front office wants to play and finish most games, to be honest.
So
I just want to piggyback right quick to let him
Go ahead.
like for Sadiq, I think he will more so do better coming in when we sit Z. And that's why I was more so the others. And if Z in a good spot to still be out there and not the first person sitting going to the
Yeah,
bench,
I don't see Zion being.
I would rather
I ideally
Sadiq
don't see
coming
him
in.
going to the bench first.
Yeah.
yeah, I think for me, I like that lineup. I say for me, real quick, DeJounte would be my first player to go to the bench for Fears.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Especially if they taking Holly out because he maybe not playing early. Because for me, it's like, hey, Halliburton going to the bench. Z, you gonna stay in. And for let's say I let Zion play 7 minutes instead of 6 or whatever. Like I'm gonna put you at the 5-minute mark. Can I blitz y'all for this next
2 minutes?
2 minutes and get a little bit of an advantage, and then I could still have DeJounte come in the second quarter and be your point guard again, essentially with Poole or with the, you know what I mean? But to go back to like with the lineup with Fears, like I think to your point, I agree. I think that's the line they want to see. I think you could get away with that if Zubac is not in the game. I don't know if I feel comfortable with
Zubac in this scenario. Zubac got subbed out for Jay Huff.
He's okay. So I feel comfortable enough like with Queen, like going up against Huff. I don't think Huff could guard him, and I don't think Queen's gonna have to work that hard to guard Huff back.
Do you feel that lineup will get crushed rebounding?
I think you're gonna have to see some team rebounding. Jay Huff 7 feet. You know what I mean? Like Queen, your biggest player in there, like 6'9". I don't have to worry about DeJounte now rebounding. DeJounte is gonna rebound. You know what I mean?
Y'all go ahead. Give me 1 second.
No, you good. DeJounte gonna rebound. Queen was actually a solid rebounder when he played. He averaged like 7 on the season, so it's not like he was just bad. You know what I mean? But no, I think they're gonna be. I think that lineup, if you have a lot of offensive players on the court, so that's when you gotta like really, really go at them. Cause like, I'm sorry, like I rock with TJ. He ain't no offensive player like that. You can't let TJ hit you for a quick 8 points. Like he could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gets in that mid-range game, and next thing you know, like him and Jose like the same people. Like, bro, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna be a menace defensively. I'm gonna get you out your game. So I agree with you in the sense of like, I don't know if I want Fears going up against like that because like, he's gonna be annoying. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's one of those situations, but it's like, hey, dog, like Fears, like, bro, you about to have the keys to this, like the point guard of the future. Like, you gonna have to. It ain't gonna get easier. You gonna start seeing these dudes in the first quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, now Fears, DeJounte, Z, Queen, like the ball got to move. Like I think you got enough players on that in that lineup to where you can't have it all ISO. That's gonna be it. Can't be all ISO basketball. But
Yeah.
I think you can put Queen as a hub in that instant and actually be able to let them operate.
Yeah, that's my vision of it. Is the ball movement, the aggressiveness, because I think that whole group would be aggressive and be willing to shoot, take the shots. It looked like in this offseason they've been putting that work in. Queen
Mhm.
been working on his jumper. Like so it's gonna be a fluid offense. And like we said, if we got a structure of defense to where people are at least putting the effort in on that side, I think we're gonna be solid against that group of with Indiana.
I completely agree. Y'all can hear me good? Y'all can hear me? I'm
Yeah, you
straight.
good. You good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that bit they got a little dark and whatnot, so forgive. But man, I'm gonna try and figure this out on another day. But so my thought is also with that particular lineup. So let's say we had right now we're going with and I understand Mike with wanting to kind of blitz them, right? And you maybe have DeJounte take advantage of TJ McConnell, and you have Zion, Neesmith, and fucking what you call it, they too small. Trey still a bigger player. Queen against, maybe he might get caught in the switch against Pascal or something like that. And then even it, so, and I think Fears could take advantage of, or at least have to battle one of the other guards. So I think you match up well with that. So let's say, boom, they play another 2 minutes or whatever. And now we at the 5-minute mark, 4-minute mark. And then I think you might see one of Trey and or Z come out the game at that point, right? Maybe in this situation, maybe the other three come out the game. Or do you think we're in a situation where one of the starters plays the entire first quarter? You think either one of your Mike first and then DJ, do y'all think any of the starters play the whole first quarter?
No.
Okay, so
I don't think so either.
All right, cool. So I got Z coming out at, let's say, the 5-minute mark, right? That sound about right? So that will put, if he come out at the 5-minute mark, that mean he played, 7 minutes in the first quarter?
Yeah.
So we got him playing 7, and I think Sadiq Bey comes into the game at that point, right?
Absolutely.
So Sadiq is your guy there. Then it's probably time for Trey to go sit down. I think Poole is probably your guy there. So Trey is I think Trey plays till maybe 3 minutes left in the first, something like that. Like I think he plays a little longer than Z because they want to keep some shooting out there. Would y'all argue with that? Or
no, I think he's gonna be your most minute person on the team.
I agree. So I'll put him at let's say 8 minutes, and he comes out at the 2-minute mark or whatever. And then I would imagine Poole subs in at that point. Who else would you consider?
Yeah.
Poole.
No, definitely. I definitely want Poole and Sadiq coming in, especially if Trey and Z coming out. So that's like a good offensive firepower that's coming in at that same time.
I agree, because then you got Fears running the 1, you got Poole at the 2, you got Sadiq pretty much at the 3, Queen at the 4, and technically DeJounte still out there right now. Unlike in this, or he could be coming out at this point, but right now that's the initial 9. So now let's say, who is that other person that you possibly would bring in since somebody else isn't playing? You got the options really are Carlo, Bryce, and Watford, I think, because PV Hawkins and DeAndre I don't think are true options to start the season.
Man, it's gonna be, but I think Watford gonna play. Like he gives you that. First of all, he's a solid rebounder in the minutes he plays. Mm-hmm. Like he gives you some of that point forward in a sense because he can handle the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be Carlo gonna have to work. Mm-hmm. Carlo gonna have to work. It's gonna be between Bryce and Wofford. Like, and if Bryce can, if Bryce is still shooting 40% from 3, like he's gonna have the upper hand.
I think Wofford gets the nod because of the size, and then That's why preseason gonna be important. But for this point right here, I do want to see Wofford with Queen. So I think Wofford, and again, because then their sub will probably be okay, Pascal for Obi Toppin, and then you'll probably see Kelly Oubre for Neesmith or one of them, and then Ben Shepherd maybe for Nimhor. So now their lineup is like TJ, Kelly, got some size. Ben Shepherd, Jay Huff, Obi Toppin got some size too. So I do think Wofford is probably the sub right there. So let's say Wofford, right? And they subbed in at like the 5-minute mark, right? Do you think any of those guys would close the quarter, or you think they close the quarter like that, 5 minutes, or let's say like 2 minutes left, they bring somebody back? Because in this scenario, Eve went in first, like came out first, Herb came out first, or do you think they roll into the second quarter with this?
I could see Herb coming back in because like that is like the second unit, and ideally, like we always talk, like bro, like Herb coming in guarding the second unit, like Caruso comes in and guards the second unit. Like dog, like I want to see Herb go out there and dog like Ben Shepherd and Neesmith. Those dudes ain't like I think TJ McConnell could handle it. He's a vet.
Go give Kelly Oubre hell.
Yeah, go do that. So I could see essentially like, hey Herb, can you go steal 2 minutes? Can you go get a steal and get like a foul or another point here or a block here or something like that? Yeah,
I like that, because let's say, all right, so now let's look at it this way. So Fears came in first, him and Queen right around the 7-minute mark. I think they finished the quarter, right? So let's say they get 7 minutes on the books, right? Sadiq came in around maybe the 5-minute mark. I think you could see Sadiq finishing the quarter as well.
Yeah.
Sadiq, so that's 5 minutes for him. Poole, I could see Poole. He came in also around like that, maybe around that 5-6 minute mark, somewhere in there when you started, because I think Z gonna come out and then you'll see Trey. So like they'll be somewhere in there, right? That's another great point. He did shut down the last one of those last times we saw Halliburton. Herb gave him the fucking blues.
Yep.
That's another good point too. Bringing Zion back, depending on how soon you sub him out, right?
I mean, that just depends. Like, I don't necessarily want, if Zion playing into the 5-minute mark, I don't need Zion
exhausted
playing like a 9 or 10 minute first quarter.
Yeah, and then you could bring him back early in the second. So for this, let's say Poole finished the quarter, right? Got the final 5 minutes of the quarter. Let's say Wofford got the final 5 minutes of the quarter. And let's say the last 2 minutes, right? The last 2 minutes. So I'm going to bring Queen minutes down to 5 and say Herb came back in and finished off those last 2 minutes of the quarter, right? Maybe it's a strategic. You match Herb back up. Yeah, get back out there. Go cause some confusion. So that put Herb at around 7 minutes. All right, cool. So our first quarter is done. And we played 10 people in the first quarter. Do you think that's realistic?
Not really.
You think it'll be no? Well, we at the, you gonna play your 5. I don't think anybody's playing the full first quarter, so you gonna play at least. That's just saying somebody's gonna play the full first, or you bringing somebody back off the bench and somebody don't play.
I think I more so see that than you playing 10 players in the first quarter.
I think you can see somebody play. Okay, so let's say. So, how about this? Do you think instead of Wofford playing, that they would come back with Herb?
I can see that. I think that's a
realistic scenario.
Trey might play the whole. I could see a world where Trey plays the entire first as well.
So let's do this. Let's do this instead. Let's say Queen State keeps his 7 minutes, right? And instead of Wofford coming in, right, we'll say Herb plays 10 minutes. Played like 10 minutes of the first, took a 2-minute rest, came in the second, and then that's Wofford won't play in the first. Okay. And then Herb plays 10 minutes, right? First quarter down. We played 9 people. Trey about 8 minutes, Z about 7, E 5, DeJounte, flex. It could be flex somewhere between 5 and 7. Pool around 5 minutes. Sadiq around 5. Fears and Queen around 7. I think that sounds about right.
That's all cool.
All right. So now the lineup that we have in the game right now to end the second quarter is Fears, Queen, Sadiq, Pool, Herb. Okay. No, to end the first. I'm sorry. Going into the second quarter. Yeah. So I think we start this. Let's say you start the second quarter like that, right? How long till you bring your guys back, right? So you got Fears starting. Fears, who we had? Pool, Queen, Fears, Pool, Queen, Herb, and Sadiq.
How long has Z been sitting at this moment?
Since the 5-minute mark.
Oh, so Z coming back in at like not at the latest, what, 8 minutes?
Let's say that 9. He come back in at 9, right? So who he come in for? Who come up? Queen, I'd imagine. Well, Eve probably coming in with him too. I can imagine Eve. Darnell, what you think?
I think he froze. Yeah, I think he froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see Z coming in, because like for me now, I'm at this point, I'm like, all right, Z and Eve, you coming back in, because Z probably gonna play like another 5 to 6 minutes, come out, and then he's gonna probably put Z back in to close the second anyway.
I can see that. So I can see Z coming back in for. I can see Z and Eve, probably Murray too.
Yeah.
And Murray too. So let's say around what you think, the 9-minute mark? They probably stagger it a little bit. I don't think they all come in.
I think you could do Z at 9, let them play 5 minutes, let them rest for about 2 minutes, and then bring them back for like that final 2.5 to close out the second.
So let's see where we at. So Z's coming back. We know that. Queen been on the court for a while. Fear's been on the court for a while. And Sadiq at this point have been and Poole also. So let's say around the 9-minute mark. I think I'm like Zion got to get back in the game by like 9 minutes at the least, right?
Yeah.
And I think Eve as well. So let's say Queen them get another 3 minutes. So 3 for him. So Queen and who else coming out?
Bay.
For Eve and Zion.
Probably Bay. Bay was in, right?
Yeah, Bay's in.
Queen and Bay.
Okay. So now
how many minutes would that put Sadiq at?
Total.
He had 5 in the first.
Yeah, 5 for the first and 3 in the second. So he had 8 minutes total right now. I am writing this down.
Gotcha.
Y'all think it's a game?
Yeah, I know. I think I probably would have. I don't know. I feel like Sadiq might have stayed, but I'm not mad at him coming out, especially if we putting all the big dogs back in.
Mm-hmm. So Eve got to get back in as well, because now Zubac probably started, back to start the second half. You know what I mean? Probably back to start the second quarter. I'm sorry. So boom. So let's say Eve back. Eve came back with Z. That's your front line, right? Herb. So now you're lined up for like maybe the next minute. Fears, Pool, Z, Queen, Eve. How y'all feel about that? Or do we need to make some adjustment right now? Can we run a minute or two with that?
Oh, you said say that lineup again?
Fears, Poole, Zion, Herb, and Eve.
Oh, okay. I think you said Queen last time. That's what threw me off.
Okay, my bad. Nah, he should be subbed out right now. He is one of the big dogs, so I think we'll see more of his minutes like later on. But like they all gonna like, I think this is again, if we're not talking about foul trouble, somebody just not having a good game, I think this is how it's shaking out. Like ideally first, right, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I think that lineup could play because now you probably came back with Halliburton, Nemhard or Neesmith, one of them. Pascal probably back in the game, so you damn near back almost starters, and the only two starters technically right now you're sitting is DeJounte and Trey, which they probably get ready to come back in another minute.
I think you can run that because you got Herb and you got Ease for defense, but you still got Poole and Fierce that's gonna get shot up, and you got Zeke. You know what I mean? Like, so like even with Zeke, you need Fierce to be able to knock down a three.
Yeah,
it looks like he's been all season. So,
and if you think about the offense that they're running, you still have Zion for paint touches, you still got Fierce for paint touches, and you still have Eve for the rim protection as well. Again, Fierce and Poole are volume shooting, so at the end of the day, your offense should be Zion at the paint, and if the hierarchy is there, everything should be getting these. Like this is the opportunity for Poole to get his volume, right? Like these are the minutes where if Zion not scoring, Trey not out here, we need you to be the best version of you. Him and Fierce has some chemistry, so I think you could run that for like a minute or two, especially against a backcourt like Halliburton and maybe Nemhard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you should be able to offensively kind of do your thing. So I can see that surviving for a while. So let's say they run that for
because Hiley and them are gonna be like at their top two.
Well, we had 9 minutes when that sub happens, right? I think the rest of the starters and Herb go sit down maybe. I think the rest of them are at let's say the 7 minute mark. Let's say the 7 minute mark. What y'all think?
About that?
Yeah, because that would be Fears being in for a very long time.
Right?
Yeah, young man. That man.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
I think DeJounte finishes out the quarter at this point. Like I think DeJounte the rest of the quarter minute. So let's say Herb. So at the 7 minute mark, right? So Herb got another 5 minutes. He started and comes out at the 7 minute mark. Poole probably comes out around there, and DeJounte is what boy is raining hard out here. And then
same out here.
Yeah, and then you
probably got with that earlier. It's stopped over here.
And then DJ back in the game, DeJounte, Trey back in the game. Now this is the question right here. When Herb comes out, Sadiq Bey just went out, right? And Herb subbing out. Who are you bringing back into the game? I think this is where Wofford gets the opportunity. Or do you bring back somebody else?
That's DeJounte, Trey,
Zion
still in, and Eve.
Yeah, now we only at the 7 minute mark because Herb played to close the fourth and to start the second. Sadiq also closed the fourth, started the second, right? So you and then Poole and Fears were just, you could come back with Queen. Well, no, Queen just subbed out 2 minutes ago for Zion. So
it's probably gonna be a Wofford or a Bryce.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Right there.
Yeah, because them dudes, they gon' you know what I mean? Players they gonna play.
This is exactly where those minutes for that player comes in right here. So let's say DeJounte, Trey, Zion, Eve. Who's the fourth? Y'all, you think it's Wofford or Bryce? They have their starting
I
lineup.
think Bryce with that group.
Bryce with that group.
I can see it because
Yeah.
from what we saw before, he's the better shooter, and he's the less ISO player between him and Wofford.
Okay. So
But I think Wofford is a better player.
okay.
Overall, yeah.
I think Z finished the quarter. I think Z finished the rest of the quarter. Like you come back in at the 9-minute mark, like you went out at 5 minutes, rested another 8 minutes. I think you finished the quarter, and you should be able to play 7 straight minutes if you're not in
If he
foul.
don't finish, like I said, I could see a world where he play like 5.5, and then come back in at like 2.5.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes get back in there.
Okay. Let's just for right now for this assignment, let's just assume
He played
him and Trey DeJounte. I think they finish in the quarter.
All right.
So Z would be at 9. That would be 9 minutes for Z. You know what? I see what you mean, but I'm gonna give him these 9 minutes. I ain't gonna lie. So 9 minutes for Z coming in at the 9-minute mark. You do probably play, like you say, until maybe the 4. So let's say, nah, fuck that. He getting those minutes. Because I think if he in the shape that we say he in, like I think you should be able to finish the quarter for the most part. Trey will get 7 minutes. DeJounte gets 7 minutes to finish. And then Bryce. So Eve, do you have Eve finishing the quarter when he came in or no?
I think if Zubac's in, Eve's going to finish the quarter.
So you got Eve playing the final 9. Well, look, let me do this. Let's put them down for the rest, and then we could like discuss how the second quarter would run.
I take that. I don't have them finish. No, I think DQ's going to come back in.
Come back in,
yeah.
Probably at like what the 4-minute mark, maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say at 4 minutes and finish it out.
Okay, so then Eve would get maybe another 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he'll play from like the 9 to maybe the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
and DQ would have sat down at the 9-minute mark and then came back in at around 4 minutes, something like that.
Around that,
yeah.
3 + 4 is 7.
Yep.
So he plays 7 minutes.
And the car education.
You heard me? Bryce came in at the 7-minute mark. So I think Bryce plays about 5 minutes. Like he might finish the quarter, but you might
5 is ceiling.
Yeah, 5. Okay, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah,
5.
I don't think he would finish.
You think they come back with Herb to close out the quarter, or Sadiq? Herb or Sadiq?
Or Sadiq.
I think they close with Sadiq.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see more minutes for Sadiq.
Yeah, I see them closing with Sadiq. So then Sadiq probably, what did we say? Bryce will come out
like at 3 minutes
at the 2-minute mark. Yeah. So at the 2 minutes, so he just get the final like maybe 2 minutes of the quarter. So that's 5. All right, cool. And then we finish the quarter. The lineup will be something like, and man, appreciate y'all for again, bro. We just running it right now. I don't even know how much time y'all got. I know y'all probably didn't expect us to do this, so we gonna kind of go through the second half pretty quick. But if we tally this up right now, in the first half, DeJounte has played 13 minutes, 13 of 24. Yeah, 13 to 24. So almost half of the first half. That sounds about right. Trey has played 15. Trey played 15 minutes. Zion has played, I think Trey might fuck around and get more minutes somewhere because Zion played 16 minutes. Zion is around 16. Eve is at 10. Eve is at 10. Herb is at 7 and 5 is 12. Poole is at 10. Poole is at 10. Sadiq, appreciate y'all, by the way. I am writing this down. Sadiq is at 10 minutes.
Man, while he calculating, hit that like button.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, while I do this, hold on, man. Hold on, bro. While I got this going on, man. Man, make sure y'all hit the like button, bro.
Thoughts on the game?
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
I feel you, coach. We'll be better for tomorrow.
People already know, man. Sometimes you feel about that's how you be feeling about the team. Also, man, look, shout out to the people out there that's real ones too. While y'all hit that like button, hold on, I got one more commercial break for y'all.
I don't know if you got your shoulder and then your chest started hurting. Let me see if you got some hoe in you. Because I don't hear no dog in you. See, that's the issue. It's like, I don't know, you might be full of hoe. All right, we're gonna run some x-rays, because you might literally be a bitch.
All right, appreciate y'all for those, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. And listen, when y'all around, bro, make sure y'all got some dog in y'all, bro. I don't know if that's crazy or not, but pause. So this is where we at. We got DeJounte at 13, Fizz at 13, Trey at 15, Z at 16, Eve at 10, Herb at 12, Queen at 14. Bryce played about 5, Sadiq at 10, Poole at 10 minutes. How that sound?
It's
That's good. Sadiq the only one I want a little more.
So if we duplicated this, let's say we ran that for the exact second half, right? We played 10 people. Bryce would have 10 minutes, or a version of this. Bryce would have 10 minutes. Trey would be at 30. So I think Trey number will probably be up a little bit, right? And I think in the second half, your rotation will probably shrink down some, right? So you might not see those Bryce minutes at all. Poole minutes, who knows what happens there. They might try and do some matchup Herb minutes, because right now Herb is on pace. So let's see, you got, matter of fact, we ain't even got to do the second half. Multiply by 2. DeJounte, under this, DeJounte would be at 26. Fears
He'll be at 26.
Fears is at 26. Z is at 32. Trey is at 30. Eve is at 20. Herb is at 24. Poole is at 20. Sadiq is at 20. Let's see. Bryce, just like this, would be 10, which I can see that not being a thing. And Queen would be at 28.
I think Bryce 10 minutes is fair. I'm gonna go back after this. I'm gonna go watch the Orlando game, and I'm gonna go look at all the the minutes.
Mosley plays 10 to 11 people. That 10th and 11th guy are typically around 11 to 15, but it would depend on the game. But he normally plays 10. His stars, Paulo Franz, 32 to 34. So right now, Z tracking for 32. It depends on who he views as the second best player, right? Mm-hmm. So then I think Trey gonna play 30, no matter a minimum of 30, no matter what though. DeJounte and Fears being even at 26. How do y'all feel about that? You think that's realistic, or is DeJounte gonna be more around 30?
I think DeJounte gonna be around that more 28 to 30.
Who do you see? I got Queen right now at 28 minutes. I don't think Queen is at 28 minutes. So let's take. I think Queen will be closer to 25. Right? Yeah. 25 minutes, something like that. So let's say 25 minutes. So that's 3 minutes we took from Queen. I could see maybe all 3 of those going to DeJounte. Put DeJounte around.
What Herb at?
Herb is at 24 minutes.
All right, that's about fair for him. I was about to say he should be at 25. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sadiq is at 20. Poole is at 20. I think to start the season, that's about fair.
Yeah, I could see Sadiq 20 to 22.
We got 3 minutes that we use. Like Bryce got 10 minutes right now, which is about fair.
I only think with Bryce, like in the second half, they might go with Wofford instead, or like let somebody else get that other 5.
Just to see how
But
the offense is looking or how the game is
yeah,
flowing. Yep, I can see that. I'm gonna give Trey two. I'm gonna give Trey 2 of those Queen minutes, and I'm gonna give DeJounte 1 more of those. So DeJounte is at 27, Trey and Z at 32. And also, so who's the DNPs? Great question. So the DNPs right now are in it's flexible depending on who you choose, but right now it's gonna be Carlo, PV, Hawkins, and DeAndre. Which sound about right.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Which sound about right. I could see, and it depends on how said person is playing, because for example, we talk about Bryce giving I give Bryce minutes to Sadiq Bey and Queen. There's a world where those 10 minutes are they running it through the 9 people. So let's say Bryce gets no minutes, right? And now you got 10 minutes to kind of reallocate. I could give Sadiq Bey 5 more minutes and he be at 25. I could give Eve or Poole 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Or I could give Eve 5 more minutes, he'd be at 25.
I could see that, but like, bro, like I talk about Bryce a lot, bro. Like, I think like if you have a guy who don't need a lot of minutes and shooting 40% from 3, bro, they're going to find like a spot. Every team has a guy
like 10 minutes for him. Like Isaiah come in for 10 minutes, defend, run the floor, catch and shoot.
Landry Shamet just won a championship, just that. You know what I mean?
His minutes went up as the playoffs went on, but again, people forget that like during the season, like a lot of those dudes' minutes, it's like a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. You know what I mean? And then a lot of times they don't play at all. Yeah. So even when you look at like the minute allocation over the end of a season, it's kind of skewed because it's based off like somebody was and then like for a stretch, I might have been starting and playing significant minutes or whatever the situation may be. So I could see a situation where Bryce gets those minutes. Bro, that rain getting out of pocket. The rain getting out of pocket. So like again, I could see Bryce getting those 10 minutes. But realistically, if I look at this, it seemed about fair, right? We talking about to start the season. Like I think Poole for his career has been closer to 30, but I think when you are allocated to a second unit role with so many guys, you're gonna have to get your work done in a shorter period of time. So I can see that being 20 minutes. Or do you think him and Fear's minutes are gonna be a little closer? Because right now I got Fear's at 26. Like I don't think his minutes gonna go down from the 24 from last year, but he started a lot too. So like, what do you think?
Nah, I think Poole at 20 is a good number for him, at least to start the season. Like kind of get his mojo back. Like it's one thing to do, the off-season work and everything, but when them lights come back on, he gonna want to put on a show again. So we definitely want to make sure he getting his shine, getting his opportunities. But I think 20 is good to start, because we know eventually injuries gonna kick in and everything down the line, and he gonna get his real opportunities. But to start, I think that works well.
And I think a lot of the guys were playing in decent stretches. right? Like, again, DeJounte's healthy and back or whatever. So, again, we had him playing the first, and again, it depends on who you subbed out first, but like, it's possible that he's going to play the first 12. We had him coming out at maybe the 7-minute mark, right?
Yeah.
So, you playing the first, what's that, 5, 7, maybe the first 7 minutes of the game, possibly the first 8 minutes, not 8 minutes of the game, but the first 7 minutes of the game. That's like a good amount of burn, you know what I'm saying? Like in a row to be in a rhythm, come out the game rested. And then if I bring you back at like the 8-minute mark or the 9-minute mark, you should be good to like close the quarter. So I think Trey playing, you know, I think Trey and Z's minutes are going to be like what kind of not fluctuate, but it'll be the most. These guys will be in the game the longer stretches of the game, right? Like I think you'll see. Whoa, what's good, Kurt? Appreciate you, dog. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you come in for sure. Pause. Appreciate you talking. Yeah, that storm getting out of hand, man. And I'm going to Miami tomorrow, which is crazy.
Shout out to you.
I know, dog. Celebrating finishing school. You heard me? They say the rain crazy out there too, so I'm packing my PlayStation. But all in all, right? If you looked at who they were matching up with, I think we had, like, based off the depth of the team, right? If somebody got in foul, let's say fucking Poole got in foul trouble, it's like, all right, I could bring Bryce into the game and not really lose much from the off-ball shooting, or I could come back with one of my starters or something like that, and I think you're fine. If multiple people somehow got 2 fouls in the first, I don't think you're afraid to say, okay, Wofford needs to play or Carlo needs to play. You know what I mean? I think you have options of like solid players you can go to and not feel like, fuck, how we gonna match up with Kelly Oubre and Jay Huff off the bench? You know what I mean? And in this matchup, do you think we're hindered at any point from, like, if these lineups look the way they look, at any point do you think we have like a lack of shooting, a lack of rebounding on the floor at the time?
I mean, it depends, bro. Like
you got to go out there and do it.
That's what I was about to say. You got to want to do it.
Like, I just mean from a lineup standpoint, do you feel like, because Pascal is a good rebounder, Zubac is a good rebounder.
Great,
he's a great rebounder. So realistically, you had a disadvantage going into the game because Zubac is a premier center in the league, in my opinion. You know, Halley's not bad, I guess. And Nembhard and Neesmith, I don't know, whatever. But, like, I don't really think that the things that, because, again, Indiana is a pace team, right? They want to get up and down, get up a lot of shots, fast-paced offense. I think you could play that style. I don't think them having Zoo, I think they'll have a lot of pick and roll. I don't think we're just, like, outmatched to get, like, destroyed in the pick and roll game. Do y'all see any, like, anything we're missing from, like, a minute standpoint, who you would play that, who would give you just, like, some crazy disadvantage watching the game?
Not really. Like I said, in terms of rebounding, I think, like, you can play Wofford, and I mean, Wofford's 6'9", 240. Like, like he's not a small player at all. So you can play him and still, you know, assist with rebounding. But at the end of the day, dog, you got to be a team. You got a team rebound.
I agree. DJ, as the guy that was the shooter, do you think with this roster that we have enough reliable shooting? Again, you just never know, because Herb playing 24 minutes, but I don't think 24 minutes of Herb hurts, because the lineup that we had Herb Jones out there with, and the way that I think they're gonna run the offense, right? I think there was more than enough people to, like, defer to. And I ain't saying you can't shoot that bitch at all, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there was enough offensive options surrounding them and enough 3-point options to where you're not just getting, like, the volume get out of hand? What do you think about it from a shooting standpoint?
So for me, again, with the coaching and everything and the structure, I think the Herb issue was we didn't have defensive structure last year, and he tried to recover and make up and be that person
Mhm.
that holds down the defense. I
That's a
think
great
Herb
point.
shoots a lot better this year if the rest of the team steps up defensively, to where
Mhm.
he has more energy, he's in a better space, his legs are more under him. So even with him being out there, I think he shoots better. But overall,
Mm.
I think we have enough players that's capable of shooting and knocking down shots. And again, if it's team defense, same on offense, I think these players are gonna get open shots. So you might not be the best contested shooter, but
Mhm.
DeJounte, if you wide open, you get able to hit that three. Like even though you're not just the best shooter on our team, but you should be able to hit those shots. Like
Listen,
24 for her.
this is the thing too, because I think honestly, I think that's a good number for Herb. He starts in that scenario. Sadiq Bey still getting 25 minutes in that scenario. Um, you could still find minutes for Bryce. Poole still has minutes in that scenario. And then also, if you remember when they went on, I think it was one of the 5 game win streaks that they went on. Herb wasn't playing 30 plus minutes in those games, right? Like his minute Bryce was getting some time, Sadiq was getting some time. So like Herb's minutes were around like the 26-ish kind of number, depending on how the game went. So like
It should be like, bro, like playing defense at a high level will
it's
wear you
exhausting.
out, bro. It's exhausting.
Absolutely.
to,
Yeah.
to be able to have to do that for like 30 plus minutes,
Yes.
guarding the
Again.
best player, you won't
Yeah.
be tired.
Yeah. That's very see, these are the things that I don't think people think about when you think about like the basketball. Because Darnell made the point was like, well, if we're better defensively from again, DeJounte should help you defensively just naturally be better. Playing E, just having a fucking center on the court should just naturally help because Borrego didn't play Eve consistently. You know what I mean? So just having him out there on the court lessens the amount of listen, I ain't gotta recover back at the rim as much, or I got my big guy back there, or I ain't gotta not saying that we don't all have to rebound, but I can focus more on my energy of trying to get a rebound as opposed to worrying about trying to hurry up and get out in transition. Like we still want to run, don't get me wrong, but if I'm only shooting 4 threes a game, like it'll probably feel a lot better getting those shots up when I'm not if I'm Herb, and not saying he's not gonna get a rebound and maybe bring it down himself, but like I gotta guard, get a rebound, possibly come down, and then we don't have no fucking offensive sets or no true structure. So I gotta maybe get into my bag, Zion in the corner, like way over there. Trey, you want the ISO, but we don't really screen and roll. Like we don't run a screen and roll offense. So like realistically, that could make Herb Jones' weaknesses pop significantly more than they would in the previous years where you had CJ, Brandon, Zion, Trey off the bench. Najee would run some offense. Jose ran some offense. JV, you easy dump into, get some easy buckets for you. So, like, there's a world where 24 minutes for Herb in this system, if they buy into it with all of the other options, like, make him a more useful and productive player. And he still be starting in that scenario.
Yep.
Do y'all have any big questions or concerns or just thoughts based off like because one of the big things people talk about is like minutes, and if you bring in like let's say you have to move somebody out and you brought in like let's say we did move Hawkins for Ben Mathurin, right? Let's say that move happened because that's still on the table. Where would you see Ben Mathurin cutting into this?
Jordan Poole. It will be like that type of player. Like
how
Jordan
many
Poole
minutes?
spot.
Jordan at like 20. Do you think everybody comes down a little bit, or you see like Jordan Poole minutes evaporate?
I don't think it evaporates. He made 30 million. So I like last year was an anomaly. Herb minutes ain't dropping like that, brother. I know you don't want Herb playing, but Herb gonna play.
I could see it. I could see it in like in the aggregate to a degree. Like there's like, for example, Poole's at 20 right now. So like those Bryce minutes, all of those Bryce minutes would be Ben Matherin's minutes, right? So then Eve will probably, well, maybe not Eve, but DeJounte minutes will probably be just a tad down, probably be back at around 26, right? I think Poole might be more around like 18-ish, might be 20 depending on the night. I think Sadiq is at around like 23-ish, 24. Queen, I think Queen is gonna be around 20. He still probably be around 25 because he a big. Like the bigs, I don't think gonna be affected as much. I think you might see Herb at like 22. You might see Fears down a tad. Yeah. But I think you see it in like,
I don't think Herb's minutes drop under 24. Like I think that's his
floor.
His floor, and I think his ceiling is probably gonna be like 27, 28. Like, I don't think he's in that 30 range mark. But if you bring in Mathurin, like I think you like Poole is gonna play, but I think Poole is, like you said, 20. Like I could see a world where DeJounte and Fears may lose a minute or two for Mathurin. And Mathurin is anywhere from that 14 to 18.
Listen, if we get Ben Mathurin, if we get another Ben Mathurin, MPJ, somebody has to go out to make that move. And again, if it's Hawkins, because again, we didn't account for Hawkins minutes at all. We didn't account for DeAndre Jordan minutes at all. And I don't think you do, because most people don't play 15 players a night, right? Like most teams, you only playing 10 guys, 11 guys. Mosley's had games where he's played 12 guys. If you beating the piss out somebody, everybody might get some run, but realistically, you only playing 10, 11 max, right? But if you get I ain't gonna lie, if they got Ben Mathurin, I don't think they start him over her.
Ben Mathurin would be making like $8 million.
Yeah, I don't think he make enough to like demand that to a degree.
And I think he would have to be a different type of defender. Like in order to take Herb's spot, your defense would have to like, we know you can score and you have that over Herb, but if you're not able to sit down and slide your feet, then not saying he a bad defender, because in the playoffs he definitely was capable, but like you're gonna have to bring that consistently to even think about trying to catch Herb.
Especially when the entire team is healthy, because guess what? Like if you like, you have to be, unless you like an elite scorer, which he ain't. Like he's a great scorer, but it's like, though, like we got enough players to score. So like, DeJounte's back fully healthy.
Your rebounder, he's a good rebounder. He averages about 6, and that's why I think he has the advantage. Herb only averages 3. But you would have to be, like you'd have to be impactful on the boards. Like I think MPJ is different because he's fucking tall and he shoots and he's an off ball and he rebound. You know what I mean? Like he might not be he takes her position because of the totality of what he brings to the floor and obviously the money, but like the totality of his game, not just like he's a better player than Ben Mathurin also. And again, you still can't teach the size, like 6'10" with that style of play, I think makes it different. I wouldn't necessarily say Herb goes, and that's why I said I don't think Herb goes to the bench to start. He'd have to be playing bad offensively again to lose his starting spot, in my opinion. And then I think you see like the minutes like drop a little bit. and I'm not even expecting like a crazy offensive season. I hate Mathurin on the Pels personally. There's a lot of people who think it doesn't really make sense. I personally just like the idea of if I got a guy in Hawkins that I'm not going to play or not really going to shoot, like I don't mind having Mathurin if the number is the same or a little bit more. But this is a good question. Like, would it like, and again, I don't know how much time y'all got, so I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up and get y'all out of here. But what do y'all think Ben Mathurin even does for the team based off how we looked at this just now and breaking down the roster? Other than, in my opinion, if somebody goes down, it's like, look, we ain't losing a beat. Like if Poole not playing well or if Fears get hurt or somebody, I got another guy I could throw into the roster and like into the rotation, and I'm like not hurting at all. But other than that, like, what do you think Ben does for the team?
Good.
Yeah, for me, it's I've been said. I think when in the group, Mike always say the same type of player. I've been said if he comes, I feel like a Pool would have to be moved, or it will have to be something else done because he kind of give you a lot of the scoring punch that Poole gives. Um, Again, I am in agreement with you that if we could get him just for Hawkins and we still have Poole, that's a problem I'm willing to accept. But like to have that much talent to figure out, I'm good with. But like I feel like that's when the consolidation is needed because he's a talented player. So I feel like that when if we get him in here, some consolidation gonna be needed. And like you say, the Bryce minutes pretty much gone. I think a lot of them Poole minutes goes. It's just another move will have to be made with that, and hopefully it gets another positive piece behind that.
I think we're just assuming like Bryce minutes will be gone. Like, dog, if Ben come in here and making $8 million, yeah, he's a better player than Bryce.
But that don't guarantee that you ain't making enough at this.
Yeah, you're making enough to just guarantee you get the minutes over Bryce. And it's just like, hey, you're a better player, Bryce, but are you a better player than Bryce at what we need you to do? Are you a better catch and shoot 3-point shooter than Bryce? Because guess what? That's what you're gonna do on this team with the player we already have here right now. You know what I mean? So it's like,
which is to Mike, if you don't mind, I interject real quick. When I talked about like Poole, right? If you take and Ben Mathurin shoots the three and Bryce is willing to shoot the three, but neither one of them shoot it at the volume that Poole shoots it at, right? Like, do you think if you were to cut Poole's minutes, do you hurt the offense in that sense because you're losing the volume shooting in that sense?
I think that's also coaching philosophy. So like Poole came from teams where he had to shoot high volume, so he knows that. But I think like Ben Mathurin came here and Mosley and Cole was like, "Hey, I need y'all to shoot." Like
I think Ben looking at like 11, but 11 still ain't enough. But I think Ben looking at like 11 mil.
He probably
like
is looking at
the market.
Yeah, the market
tell you what your price is.
Like he has interest in the Bulls, but the Bulls like MLE is only 9 million. Like they're telling him. Because let's be honest, if he was getting offered 11 million or 12 million, he would have signed somewhere.
Right.
He ain't getting that. Anthony Simons went for 6 million.
True. Anthony a dog too.
And I'm sure he happy he did. Brian pull up.
Well, he gonna get an opportunity to go make his. He gonna be an opportunity to play a role and go get his money somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this was very productive. I think this went really well. I think we did a good job of like, again, looking at the roster, minutes distribution, and I don't see the only flexibles I see is if DeJounte is trying to get closer to 30, maybe Poole minutes drops to like 18. You know what I mean? Maybe Fears is closer to 24, which he did last year, like closer to 24 or something like that. and then maybe you get DeJounte or somebody more minutes. But I think your minutes are gonna be based on how you're playing, right? Which is why I personally believe preseason. I hope they take preseason very seriously. Like they'll probably play, first halves and into the third, and then maybe one of those games you play in the fourth. But you're gonna be playing good teams, damn near every game in this in the fucking preseason. You better take it serious because if you get your teeth kicked in,
we not to cut you off. We saw Mosley bring the star back in again because he didn't like how they was playing in the preseason.
I forgot all about that.
He was like, "No, hell no, get back in."
That's a great point. Oh, that's why we in the game we started. Dog Pool was cutting up. Oh, it was like, oh no, we're not ending this game on this kind of fucking note to this team. Get back out there and go finish the quarter. Go put some good minutes up so we can feel good about this moving forward. I think that's a really good point of once they come back as a team and they start, all right, it's time to get to work. I just really believe, bro, it's gonna be survival of the fucking fittest in there.
Yeah.
That's what I look forward to.
I agree. Let me ask y'all this, and then we'll kind of get out of there on this note. You've been seeing all of the teams, right? Like we're finally starting to see videos of our players like working out together. You saw Zion and Sadiq. You saw Bryce and Herb. You seen DeJounte and Fears today. Obviously, DQ and Queen. Fears been the only, not Fears. Trey, doing his own thing, whatever. But you see Trey in the United runs, which realistically, Trey really been the only one the last couple of years that like he do that damn near every offseason. So like it's not even weird for him to be doing that. Like every offseason, that's exactly what he does. But you see Washington, they damn their whole team at a run. You see Minnesota, they whole team with the France for their run. There's a couple other teams that's kind of been Orlando. Who?
Philly.
Philly. 3-4 of their guys. Orlando had a couple of their dudes in the Rico Hines runs. What do y'all think of the teams getting together so early, building the chemistry and whatnot, and how you think that's going to relate to our team?
Yeah.
I always feel like that's a benefit. Just learning each other's tendencies, which sections of the court that this person shoots better, just little things like that you learn just playing. Like it don't have to be a serious game or anything like that, but you just learn people just being on the court, running with them. So these workouts, and if I'm shooting behind Mike and I see when we get to the right side, Mike not missing, like when we get in these real games, I'm putting you over there. Like it's not because of anything else, but I've seen you make these shots. So it's just the tendencies you learn when you just actually running, actually working out together. And even the conversations being had. Like when you working out with somebody, you see what happened when they get tired. Like you see them get tired and how they shooting now, or if they pushing through. Just little stuff you learn about people just from being around them more. And I'm big on it being organic. So that was not something that you could fake. Like you can't just tell people, all right, y'all whole team getting together and y'all going on a trip. Nah, that's an organic thing Minnesota did. Like they chose to get together like that. So and again we've been saying
thing, huh? Or was it Rudy?
Absolutely. They was going out there for Rudy to support him. Yeah, but it's like little things, and we've been saying our biggest stars haven't been the biggest like vocal people. So it's nice to see them. And I was like that when I played. Like I wasn't the biggest vocal person in the big group, but like when we one on one, we could have a different conversation. So I like the fact that it's like compartmentalized. with DeAndre Jordan getting specifically with Queen and pushing
Mhm.
him and making him go to another level. Like it's those things are all positives for me. And I hope when they come back into the training camp that it's like, all right, now let's go at it and make each other better because we've been doing it the whole off season. Now it's time to put that work that was on the side as individuals into the team. And I think all that's good energy. And like every season, each team come in with a different type of energy. And I'm just expecting them to come in with that type of fire because everybody think they're gonna win when the season starts. So like
Well, Vegas
we
said
just
we gonna
hope that
win 30. So Vegas don't think we gonna win shit. But people
oh
that
yeah,
the team think they got an opportunity to be good.
absolutely.
Mhm. Mike, what you think?
No, I agree. I think like to Donnell's point, like you want that continuity to your team, and you learn their tendencies. And I just think like bro, like y'all should want to keep together. Honestly, y'all should feel played because Vegas keep putting y'all at 30 wins. One and two, like Halliburton going on podcasting, like dog, they scheduled me for my return against New Orleans. Like dog,
Mhm.
y'all should have some pride and feel played about that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like when
like
y'all
it's
go into
Halliburton.
camp, yeah, when y'all go into camp, like it's like, hey bro, like nah, like it's whenever we see y'all, it's on site whenever we see y'all. And for everything we hear, like Mosley tapped in with them and like really like locked in because like he got something to prove too. Like
Mm.
You got fired.
He
At the end
was
of
just fired, yeah.
he
the
got
day, like you
fired
just
and
got fired, bro.
immediately got back hired and they talking, bad
Yeah.
about him. So like, nah, it's like, bro, like, all right, I'm about to show y'all. We about to show y'all. So
Mhm. My biggest thing about them one working together individually and hopefully even when they come back as a team, right? One, I'm wondering if them working together is Mosley's influence. Like, yo, DeJounte fucking take Fizz under your wing, or Fizz DeJounte being like, hey, little bro, come through. Or Zion and Sadiq, they seem like the two type that'll kind of like bond together, Sadiq reformed his life and how much he believes is like, yo, Z, I know you've been through a lot. They the same age. People look at Sadiq as if he significantly older, but
about
For
like
real.
they
that
about the
motherfucker,
same size too.
yeah, exactly my point. And I think a player like Sadiq, to Darnell's point, when he's like, yo, bro, I've been seeing you shooting that jumper. Like, no, when I kick it to you, that like knock that down. Like, have that confidence that you had. That's why we doing all that shooting. I've seen your off-season work. When you work by yourself, you only have the confidence of the work that you put in. So if I show back up to the team and I'm shooting shit that y'all ain't seen me shooting, even like let's say I miss one or two, they're gonna be like, man, stop shooting. You know what I mean? Like, and even if you don't say it out loud in your mind, you like, bro, stop shooting that shit. We know that's not your game. But if I've been working out with you and you've been seeing the progress, and it's like, oh no, bitch, oh no, bro, you different. I know you missed them too, but like keep you'll have more of a support system of somebody being like, nah, bro, like we own that type of time. We've been putting in that kind of work. So even if it's sectioned off the way that it's sectioned off, I think that's progress from what it was that they've been in the past, right? And then hopefully again that translates to the court for all of the reasons that y'all mentioned before. But man, this was a dope episode, bro. Appreciate both of y'all coming through. I gotta get my computer situated, Jeremy, and we'll be able to do better. But for Darnell, DJ, my dog, his debut appearance on Pels in the Blender. Oh, appreciate
And look, I appreciate you, dog. Like I'ma always support you. I'll be in the chat and all that when you doing lives, but we've been talking about doing this. I wasn't ready for last season, but I told you
it.
this season I'm coming. So we gonna always be here.
Absolutely. And look, man, these are the kinds of things that, like, again, when we talk about our group chat and just like the way we decide to talk about the game, it's like minutes distribution. Who do you see being subbed in strategically? What would you do? That's more so what we enjoy talking about, like that aspect of the game. And then like when we be able to break down games and stuff like that. So I think like moving forward, bro, people will be able to get a lot more of these types of episodes and whatnot from Pels in the Blender. And I think it's going to be really, really good when we have film of the actual team to go through and look at and get a better idea of what it is they're doing, what they should be doing. Then we could look at, like, we'll have actual data of what it is and then be able to talk about what, why, and how a player got to wherever they did, bro. It's just so many like fucking sky's the ceiling for like the things that I think we'll be able to do moving forward, man. But that's gonna do it, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, you know what I mean, tapped into this episode of Pels in the Blender. Appreciate y'all. We've been 2 hours rolling strong. I'm gonna fix my laptop so what the computer look a little better. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. I'm May Davis, my dog. Mike in the building, DJ in the building. Y'all be out. Stay safe. Peace. Hey, y'all don't leave when I close this either. Hold on.
All right.
We good.